Welcome back everyone to Formula 1 Weekly. I've been away for a week now, and before we really get into the little bits of news that were coming out this week in the world of Formula 1, I wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on, where I've been, what's going on with the channel. I did describe it a little bit last time, but I didn't expect to be as busy as I am, and I didn't expect to go a whole week without posting a video. Thank you for all you guys that are brand new to the channel. Just so you know, this isn't the usual way I approach videos. Usually I'm a bit more energetic as well, to be perfectly honest with you. But first thing first, I just wanted to clear up what's been going on. So, it's exam period. Is the big reason why last week there was no videos. And for me, it's make or break time at the moment, and if I don't smash these exams, then that'll screw me over for the rest of my life. So you've got to understand that at the moment the focus for me is on these exams, and there is a half term coming up, which if you are American, that's just a week off, which is in 2 weeks time, I believe, 3 weeks time. So that week will all be fine. But until then, videos are going to be a bit scarce. They're going to be a bit all over the place, and the normal structure we have in place on this channel isn't really going to be taking place. So I just thought I'd let you guys know about that. My final exam is on June the 22nd, so that's 7 weeks away. But I'm hoping for most videos, there'll always be race reviews, race previews, they'll always come out. On the back burner will be things like the Formula 1 documentaries, the weekly Q&A, they're going to be on the back burner just for the time being. Formula 1 Weekly, it will depend on how much news has come out in that particular week. And we'll just take it from there, really. It won't be hugely structured like normal, but I'm hoping to still get videos out. And you guys have still been smashing the support, and I've not even been here for a week. We've already gone up 139 subscribers, I think it is, just in a week, and I've not even done anything. So, cheers for that, guys. But I just wanted to announce as well, I've also started up a Patreon for the channel. That's going to be linking, because I do have a gaming channel. I've mentioned that a couple of times. And people have been asking me over there to set up a Patreon. And so I thought, well, I'll just link the two together. So that is now in place. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, you can do. I'm not going to pressure you into it. I don't really know what's going on with it just yet. I set it up today, and I'll be getting the grips with it over the next, I'd say a couple of months really. Like I say, I haven't really got a lot of spare time, but that should hopefully help me towards not only getting a new computer, which is I'm in desperate need for, but more importantly a new mic, because the mic quality is what I need at the moment. It's alright, I don't think it's dreadful, but it could be better for sure. So I think that's all I had to say, so let's crack on with the news. And also bear in mind, it is hay fever season, so if I sound a bit bunged up, there you go, that's the reason. But there's that picture on the screen, what a beautiful picture that is. And F1 could be heading there as early as next year. The announcement from the FIA, from Liberty Media, is that Formula 1 could be heading to Miami as early as October next year. There is a bit of news that we weren't expecting. I think we can all agree with that. That seems to have come out of nowhere. We've heard all of these rumours about going to Zandvoort in the Netherlands, perhaps going to Vietnam, maybe visiting another Middle Eastern country. The German Grand Prix, they're always a bit up in the air with what's going on with them. Silverstone, that's still without a contract for the next few years. So no one was expecting an announcement as early as round 5 of this year's season that next year we'll be having a Miami race. That is early for Liberty Media. Their goal is to have 25 races on the calendar, and with the Miami race next year, that will bring the total up to 22. That's this calendar plus one. That's not including probably the German Grand Prix not being there next year, and Silverstone, unfortunately, not being there next year either. Fingers crossed they'll sort something out with those, but that should, in theory, take the total up to 22. Now, here's the track layout, and I don't dislike it, to be perfectly honest with you. Obviously, they've not outlined where the start-finish line is going to be. I imagine it will either be the highest part on your screen, just above the American Airlines Arena, or just on the left-hand side, and one of those bits there. Formula E has been here in the past, but not on this specific track layout, and I can tell you now, that bridge, just look it up on Google Maps. Just type in American Airlines Arena, Miami. It sends you straight there. And go on to Street View on that bridge. And the views is incredible. And just trying to imagine an F1 car going around there is It's going to be incredible. It really is. And you know what? This has actually got a lot of hate from a lot of people. Not only the track layout, but the decision to go here. I think this is a great move. And I don't really, you could argue this might be me being quite naive, but I don't have an issue with this at all. I think the more Grand Prix, the better, in my personal opinion. And I also think expanding into the American market is a great thing. There's still that backlash from the 2005 Indianapolis Grand Prix where only 6 drivers went out on the grid. If you don't know about that, I do recommend looking that up. That's a bit of fun for sure. A very bad time in Formula 1, but this should be a big push to introduce Formula 1 back into America. If you didn't know, Formula 1 this year are introducing F1 festivals, is what they're calling them. And we had one in China. They didn't really promote it too much, but this year, in accordance with the USA Grand Prix in Austin, there's actually an F1 festival in Miami. So it looks like they're really trying to set up a fan base in Miami, and I'm all for it. I think this is definitely going to be at the top of my list for Grand Prix to visit, for sure. And I think it's really refreshing to see Formula 1 learning from Formula E. And what I mean by that is Formula E's key business model is to bring the racing to the people. Put the racing literally in the hearts of the cities. This weekend gone, we had the Paris E-Prix. We're now going to the Berlin E-Prix. Formula 1... we're going to Paul Ricard. I mean, I have no idea where that is in France. Hockenheim and the Nürburgring. Well, where are they? They're these incredible circuits, but they're not in the heart of the cities. And that is where Formula E is growing. And I think it's really nice to see Formula 1 taking a few notes out of Formula E's book. And as much as that I know that will annoy the traditionalist fans, for me, you can just see that picture on screen now. It's just such a spectacle having it in Miami. I think it's something really different in Formula 1. It will really spice up the racing. And that track, I don't dislike it, especially with the dirty air being a big problem at the moment. Just looking at this brief and rough, this isn't the final track layout. It looks very similar to Baku. I think you've got those almost 90-degree corners and very long straights. It's a big win in my books, it really is. I can see where people are coming from, that yes, we should be sorting out tracks like Silverstone and Hockenheim, but I'm all for Liberty Media pushing the future of Formula 1. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this topic, actually. It's one that I thought would be met with a lot of praise, but I seem to be in the minority, to be perfectly honest with you, so I'd love to know your thoughts below. And let's move on to the final story of this week, the big story, and that is the announcement for 2019, the basic front wings. Now, I just want to let you know, this graphic on screen was not produced by myself, it was produced by Arava, and his link will be in the description. But just looking online, this was the best sort of way of showing the sort of changes. Now, that is the Mercedes front wing. I don't want that to confuse anyone, but they pretty much have one of the simplest designs on the grid. And it's going to be even more simple than that. The idea for that is to make it easier to follow cars, to make it easier to overtake. They're doing this, like I say, for that reason, but they're also doing it because the next big change is coming in 2021. And that'll be 2 seasons where there'll be no more changes. I think this year the racing has been absolutely outstanding. I think we can all agree with that. Even to a degree, in Australia, a very difficult track to overtake, and yet we still saw some great fighting through the midfield. So, this year, it's been really impressive. And will this change affect Formula 1 too much? Not really. I think obviously it will make it a little bit easier, but I don't think it'll make it that much easier to get rid of the dirty air effect that everyone's complaining about. I really don't think that'll be the case, but I just thought I'd let you guys know about that story before I leave, because it was a pretty big one. And then apart from that, we've had a few minor stories here and there, but nothing really of note. And if I have missed out anything major, I do apologise. I'm really trying my best. I've got an exam tomorrow morning, so that obviously is my focus. And like I say, today's video was just mainly just to explain to you guys what was going on with the channel. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you're a bit crazy, but cheers. Anyways, it's not been one of my best, but thank you for all your support as always, guys. Like I said, the Patreon has been launched now. That link is in the channel banner, and it will also be in the description of every video, along with my Twitter handle and the link to my merch store. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.